Welcome back to the St. Louis podcast. My name is Eric Brown, and of course, it's another week. And man, what a start to the year it has been. This is the St. Louis podcast each and every Friday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. We drop an episode on all major podcasting, audio, and video platforms. Please support us. Like, review, subscribe, leave a comment wherever you're at, whatever platform you listen to us on. We appreciate the support. Now, I didn't want to go into this week ranting, but it seems like I don't know. Yesterday was the inauguration. And if you follow me on social media, you'll notice I've been fairly silent for the last couple of months, which of course goes against everything I do and why I do this podcast, which is, of course, to, have good guests on, have a good time, have a good conversation to be able to post that and get the messaging out. And today and yesterday, I mean, the stuff that's been happening in the last 48 hours is very odd, right? It's very odd. All I will say is that before we get into that, support your fellow Americans. That's why I got off social media. Everyone just argues from one side of the aisle to the other about everything, politics. It gets annoying. And then of course I come on here and talk about it. So am I better than anyone else? Probably not. It's probably just my own annoyances I need to work on, but you know, it is what it is. And here we are today. So, right before Biden gets out, he pardons all of his family members and says that, it's because he's worried that, Trump or whoever else is going to go after them when, of course, Trump has said that he doesn't plan and he has no intention of going after Biden or his family once he's elected. He also said that about Hillary Clinton, which, of course, if you remember 2016, there's some shady things she was doing with the whole email situation. And obviously, he didn't really go after her for that. So it doesn't seem like he really attacks his politicians in a legal manner, if you will, with, the FBI or whoever else. So it is very odd with like 10 minutes left that he pardons his entire family. Now, obviously, we know that, um, you know, you just look up Ukraine energy company and you know that Biden and, of course, his son, Hunter, absolute party legend, uh, was super corrupt when it comes to Ukraine. So were they doing anything illegal? I'm not gonna say no, and I'm not gonna say yes because I don't know. But if I were a betting man, I'd say probably. If you find me at the casino right now, I'd be moving it to the side of yes, they did illegal things. But who are we to know, right? Why the hell would you pardon people that never did anything illegal? Obviously, you wouldn't. That doesn't make any sense. So you have that. You have Biden doing that, which Biden also, I believe, said a couple years ago that he'd never pardon his family members, which, of course, that was proven to be incorrect. But he's on his way out. Who gives a shit? He doesn't care what anyone thinks now, right? He's done with politics. So why does he care? And then at the same time, we have Trump launching a cryptocurrency. Right now, if you don't hear me talking, it's because I'm shaking my head. Like, cryptocurrency is now an absolute joke. Uh, Obviously, now it went to a high of like $70. Anyone that bought this coin and lost money, I don't feel bad for you. And anyone that bought this coin and made money, good for you. But it just goes to show that cryptocurrency, for the most part, is an absolute joke. When you have, obviously the news stories or the market cap, is the evaluation of like $80 billion. Realistically, what I would look at it is what is the cap of the 20% of the coin that was actually available to people to buy, right? Because 80% were owned by insiders. So let's just say, okay, well, that's 25% of it. So let's say it's worth 20 billion. It's absolutely insane. Like, everyone's so hyped about this. I'm taking the opposite stance. This is dumb. And this, I feel like it's not a good look. It's not a good look when you're extracting wealth. Again, as I've said on this podcast, same thing with gambling. I mean, you're extracting wealth from the poor and also from absolute idiots, just like the Hawk Tuah coin, and maybe not even idiots, but just people that don't know this space. So they are going to get caught with their pants down, and they're going to lose all their money or a majority of their money, right? Let's look at what the Trump coin price is at now. So it's down to $40. It continues to go down. It says volume 23 billion traded in the last 24 hours. I don't understand. There's no use to this. Just like many meme coins, shit coins, whatever you want to call them, like it's all to make the people, the insiders, the people that made the coins, the people that, built the technology. It's all to make them rich. And obviously the people that are pushing it, right? I'm over crypto. I'm done. I'm over hearing about it. I'm over hearing about politics. Let's go back to talking about when it's cold out, what should you have in your car to be prepared? Let's talk about that, right? It's 0 degrees in St. Louis right now, and people are still like going to their car in shorts. I'm like, do you realize if like your car breaks down, it's kind of an issue? Something bad happens, you got to stay warm outside for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's kind of an issue. Be prepared. This is coming from me being a Boy Scout. Be prepared. And be prepared. Just TikTok is back, but it's only back for what, 75 days as of a couple days ago? Well, as of yesterday. So 74 days now. And obviously, the law is still in place, but the executive branch obviously executes on the laws. And we'll see where TikTok goes in 75 days. For as I know right now, it's still kind of open. I know it's like not on some of the app stores. So it's kind of odd to use, but it is there. And obviously CapCut is back as well for those people that use CapCut, and everyone is freaking out about that. Like, I don't know how to do video editing. And if you also follow the Vi Media channel, our other company, of course, here on YouTube, I just talked about that on Marketing Monday. But there's other platforms available to obviously be able to make short form content. But we got 75 more days on TikTok. Whew, thank God. At this point, I think it was like 8 years ago, TikTok had just kind of come out. They were like, let's ban it. I was like, sure. But at this point, I'm just like, why? Why ban it? There's a lot of people and businesses that make money off of TikTok. Okay, sure, it's Chinese spyware. I mean, so we can say that we're all right with the US spying on us left and right, but not China. Yeah, that makes a little bit more sense, but don't you think China sees what we make on TikTok and they're like, we can never invade this country? These people will just dance us back to China. Oh, if I lived in China and saw United States TikTok, I'd be like, what the hell is going on over there? And I wonder, I'd still like to know if it's actually true if TikTok actually has good content over in China, meaning useful, knowledge based, whatever it is. I've always wondered that. Never been to China. Almost have to maybe get on a VPN and figure it out. I don't know if you guys saw Elon yesterday. Well, it'll not be a couple days ago since this comes out on Friday. Odd guy. Odd guy. I always said Elon's smart, but like he's the kind of guy that like kind of needs to stay in an office, if you know what I mean. Needs to stay off social, quit lying about video games, go back to running his companies and stay. Like him now being in politics and everything else is just annoying. plainly annoying. It's odd that, Trump got elected off of, being the man of the people, and then he was surrounded by billionaires on Monday. And then obviously, if you don't know what I'm talking about with Elon, just go ahead and look it up. Doing some interesting hand gestures. And it could be the thing that most people are thinking because it looked just like it. Or it could just be the fact that he is on the spectrum and weird as hell. So who knows? But that was, man, that was cringe. That was cringe.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our friends over at Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a job or to own your own business under a brand that everyone and their cousin is familiar with, Mark Lee with Farmers Insurance of St. Louis is recruiting insurance agency owners here in St. Louis for their Farmers Insurance Mentorship Program.
And as many of you are aware, Garrett and I have owned quite a few successful and award-winning businesses over the years. And in a past life, one of those was a farmers insurance agency out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Eric and I know firsthand how hard it is to start a business under a brand that no one has heard of and convince consumers and businesses to trust that you're an authority figure in your industry.
And as many of you know, we own an award-winning marketing firm, Vi Media, the one that Garrett was just discussing. And building that company's reputation literally took years. We're still building it to this day, and it's been 8 years in the making. However, with the Trusted Farmers Insurance Agency name on the building, we got started when we started our Farmers Insurance Agency. The trust was already built and has been for 96 years.
And if you can't do math, that means Farmers Insurance has been around since 1928. Luckily, you don't need to be a human calculator to get rich as an owner of your very own Farmers Insurance Agency.
Nope. All you have to do is reach out to the one and only Mark Lee, the leader of Farmers Insurance in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area.
That's right. So ensure he continues to sponsor our show and your favorite podcast, the St. Louis Podcast, by quitting your job today and calling Mark Lee. I wouldn't even wait for him to answer your call. Call your boss now, quit, and become your very own business owner.
Mm-hmm. Visit insurancecareerstl.com. That is insurancecareerstl.com. Should we spell it out?
Yes. It would
INSURANCE. Career, CAREER, STL.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. Go there now. Back to the podcast.
And wait. insurancecareerstl.com.
Back to the podcast. Did you guys see the news that Meta's under fire for auto-following Trump and Vance, blocking Democrat hashtags? Apparently Jon Stewart, Bernie Sanders, Stephen Colbert, not that I care about Stephen Colbert, are all hidden. John Oliver, I don't know why they're blocking like these fake left comedians, or, I mean, they're not even, Colbert's hardly a comedian anymore. Hashtags for Democrats showing up. Democrats are corrupt. Democrats are stupid. Democrats destroyed America. Democrats abroad. Democrats are the enemy within. So it looks like we went from Facebook being and Meta being pushing a left agenda to now pushing a right agenda. Both are annoying. Both of these situations are annoying. Social media is getting, I think we definitely hit the peak of social media a long time ago. Now social media I just feel like is used for people to argue, bicker, and push an agenda. And that's it. It's very tough to enjoy your time on social media, right? Because it's not just the good old days of social media where people would share memes, bullshit, music, interests, their likes. And it wasn't everyone just, oh my God, did you see what, just like what I've done today on this podcast. Oh, did you see Biden pardon the family members? Oh, I made $100,000 on the Trump shitcoin. And then obviously they launched other meme coins on top of that, Melania. And can you just be the damn president? How about that? We just have someone do the job, not mess around in all these other areas just to extract money from people that like Trump. Like, that's it. Everyone that liked Trump wanted to buy that coin for the most part. I'm not going to say everyone, right? I would say a majority probably did. Dumb. It's dumb. It's better uses of your money. That's for sure. That is for sure, especially considering obviously it's already lost half of its value. It's going to most likely continue to go down as people sell because there's obviously, again, no value in that. The only value in that is just the fact that other people are holding it, right? So it's fake value. There's no use case for this. As for most cryptocurrencies, most meme coins, people tell me to buy Doge. I'm like, no, I'm good. I got a little bit of Bitcoin, a little bit, very small amount, and I'm fine with that. I'd rather use my money for investments in ways that I know that aren't just going to be rug pulled out from underneath me, and I have nothing to do about it or to say about it. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, social media continues to just rot our brains and make us fall apart, continue to divide. Obviously, there are retail. I don't know if you guys saw the news about all the retail stores continuing to close down. We got Kohl's. We had all these retail stores closing, consolidating, Macy's, and, tens of thousands of more jobs are going to be lost here shortly over the next month or so in a lot of these retail locations. And I know that there's not a lot of people hiring. So I see on my own personal social media that people are having issues actually getting hired. Sure, there's some openings, but there are more people getting fired right now or let go, I think, than there are companies looking to fill positions, which of course creates an issue. We continue to see the rates for auto loan delinquent rates, go up. We continue to see repos go up. I follow some people in the car market. Repos up, delinquencies are up, but car prices are still steady. Figure that. It's because we still have people going in and getting cars that they cannot afford with a massive interest rate, paying close to $1,000 a month on some of these vehicles or over $1,000 a month. You can't afford it. If you're listening to this right now, most likely you can't afford that. Add up your cost on a monthly basis just that you need, like your car, let's say your house or your rent, right? Add up that stuff. Add up your rent, add up your car, add up your insurance, put a food-based budget in place and any other insurance that you have, health and things like that. What are you actually spending on a monthly budget, right? Add food, how much you need to spend on food. Most people don't have a budget in this country, which is absolutely insane. They just spend and hope it works out at the end of the day. I just watched The Company Man, which is a interesting movie. I believe it's on Amazon Prime right now, maybe, or Netflix. I don't know. Ben Affleck. It's about downsizing of a large publicly traded company, and they are getting downsized in the sake of improving profit through the sake of downsizing. And of course, they're doing this because they're publicly traded and they know investors obviously want to see that. And so they do it. Obviously, stock price goes up. These people get let go. And it's the story essentially surrounding three different individuals and how it affects them off of this. And, Ben Affleck, who was a very successful, I don't know, large salesperson at this organization, was let go. And They had no reserves, right? This family had no reserves. Even though they were making a lot of money, they were well off, they had a big house, they had a nice car, etc. But even those people had no runway. And I think that goes for a lot of people that even are doing well. No one's really saving, right? No one's spending appropriately. If you or your partner or just yourself, you lost your job, I mean, what are you going to do, right? How long do you have? Do you have a runway? Are you going to be able to do anything, right? It's stuff to think about. Stuff to think about. And if I was like coming out of college or coming out of high school and figuring out what I was interested in, I'd go and start working in positions immediately to see what you're interested in and start getting experience immediately. Don't come out of college with a degree and no experience in the field that you want to get into, because companies like ours, you know, we don't want to hire anyone without experience, regardless of a degree that they're coming with out of college, right? And I don't even think that's a hot take. That goes for most businesses nowadays. Now, if you have an MBA and you actually have years of experience in business administration, running a business, whatever, business management, obviously that makes you a better candidate for those type of positions than someone that just has an MBA. But the question then becomes, if you have experience and no MBA versus someone that or excuse me, if you have an experience but no MBA, and someone doesn't have an experience but they have an MBA, right? Who do you want to hire in that instance? Well, I think it's a similar question to, I want to hire someone new on my team that has experience running Google Ads and search ads and Microsoft ads for my search team. Do I want to hire someone out of college that has a marketing degree, or do I want to hire someone that has 4 years of experience working at, say, another marketing agency or internally at a company already running Google Ads and knowing how to do that, knowing how to set it up, knowing best practices, etc. Well, obviously, I'd rather hire the person that didn't have their degree and has the experience in that field. Because for a lot of jobs nowadays, I don't necessarily see, besides, going to college, being able to graduate, okay, fine, you can, you're responsible, you can go to classes, you could sign up for classes, you can pass your tests, you can do all that stuff, walk down, the stage, get on the stage, etc. But what does it really mean nowadays when you have 18-year-olds learning about marketing for my field, right? We own a marketing agency, Vibe Media, or they want to come work at, St. Louis Podcast, or they want to come work here at Half Coast Studios where, this podcast is shot. It's going to be hard to say, hey, I have a video degree. And maybe people with the video degree actually would have hands-on experience versus someone who, is 22 or 23 or 25 or even 30 years old that is, or 40. It doesn't really matter the age, right? As long as they know, what goes into producing a podcast and what goes into producing the content and what goes into distributing that content and how to mix the audio and how to set up the lights and how to edit the video, right? Versus someone that just has a degree and, doesn't know how to do those things. Well, again, you're probably going to look at the person that actually has that experience as the person that you would want to utilize and hire. I think now is the time more important than ever that you learn a skill that is actually useful for business to be able to hire you, right? Or a skilled trade. Don't have to sit in an office. There's a ton of stuff. Ton of stuff. Obviously, fast food's hurting. I don't know if I talked about this, but the new McDonald's menu is a scam. It's actually more expensive than it was before, the $5 or 2 for $5 or whatever the hell it is. Fast food's hurting. It's overpriced. I'd rather go to my corner restaurant or my corner bar down the street and get some food for them when the hamburger there is the same price as McDonald's or whatever, name a fast food place. Well, I'd rather go, down there, sit at the bar, even if you don't drink, get a water, talk to the bartenders. Jerry, he's the owner. The people that work there all live around there. Support them. Support them. Get off Amazon. Go somewhere local. It's a local sporting goods place by you. Go there. Buy your stuff there if you're looking for sporting goods. Whatever you're looking for. What else we got? See if China sells. We'll see what happens with TikTok. Obviously, California fires, I think, are finally under control. That's good. It's interesting because I was watching a lot of stuff about that. And you have a lot of opinions. Seems like the biggest problem is they ran out of water. Why is that? Well, I'll just look at the reservoir. So apparently, obviously, that reservoir didn't have water in it. Second largest in the area. I think it would have allowed them to continue pumping as much water as they needed for like another 72 or so, a good amount of time. Another couple of days, I believe they would have gotten off that. Obviously, instead of running out of water in the first like 6 to 8 hours of fighting the fire. The real question is who started it, right? Or what started it? Was it down power lines? Was it an arsonist? Was it someone, a homeless person on drugs? Because it seems like almost all of the fires started in that area, Southern California, but really all of California, are two things: arsonists / druggies / homeless people, or down power lines. Those are the two things. That's it. And when there's no humidity and there's 80-mile-an-hour winds, I mean, all it takes is a little spark to get those things going, and you're off to the races. Or were they terrorists? We'll never know. Well, hopefully we figure it out. Yeah. Social media is annoying. Politics are annoying. Looks like Trump's already doing a lot with, the border. He's doing stuff, I think I saw with the app. I'll have more to talk about that probably next week. Obviously, he did something with the electric cars. I'm just pissed that he's a crypto billionaire. Like, this is so like, why? Is it always about money? Is that it? Is everything just about money? That's how I feel right now. Everything's just about money. Elon, Mark. We'll see what happens. We'll be back next week with more. As always, please like, review, subscribe. Today was a bunch of hot takes. I'm sure some of you are like, what is Eric talking about? He's full of shit. I am. A lot of people disagree with me. That's all right. If you do, let me know. Leave a comment. Let's talk about it. When I'm on here by myself, I'm just talking in the wind. So please like, review, subscribe, support us, share with someone. Sometimes we get love, sometimes we get hate. I'll take both. All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our friends over at Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a job or to own your own business under a brand that everyone and their cousin is familiar with, Mark Lee with Farmers Insurance of St. Louis is recruiting insurance agency owners here in St. Louis for their Farmers Insurance Mentorship Program.
And as many of you are aware, Garrett and I have owned quite a few successful and award-winning businesses over the years. And in a past life, one of those was a farmer's insurance agency out of Chesterfield, Missouri.
Eric and I know firsthand how hard it is to start a business under a brand that no one has heard of and convince consumers and businesses to trust that you're an authority figure in your industry.
And as many of you know, we own an award-winning marketing firm, Vi Media, the one that Garrett was just discussing. And building that company's reputation literally took years. We're still building it to this day, and it's been 8 years in the making. However, with the Trusted Farmers Insurance Agency name on the building, we got started when we started our farmers insurance agency. The trust was already built and has been for 96 years.
And if you can't do math, that means Farmers Insurance has been around since 1928. Luckily, you don't need to be a human calculator to get rich as an owner of your very own Farmers Insurance Agency.
Nope. All you have to do is reach out to the one and only Mark Lee, the leader of Farmers Insurance in the greater St. Louis metropolitan area.
That's right. So ensure he continues to sponsor our show and your favorite podcast, the St. Louis Podcast, by quitting your job today and calling Mark Lee. I wouldn't even wait for him to answer your call. Call your boss now, quit, and become your very own business owner.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com. That is insurancecareerstl.com. Should we spell it out?
Yes. It would
INSURANCE, career, CAREER, STL.com, insurancecareerstl.com. Go there now. Back to the podcast.
And wait, insurancecareerstl.com.
Back to the podcast.